I'm much excited about today's video because today's video is about kind of knowledge that needs to be taught from our childhood, and we should have learnt it by practicing real world examples. I personally feel like this knowledge is more important than learning about Newton's 3 laws of motions during our childhood, because the information that we are going to discuss in this video helps us in day-to-day life making decisions about the food we eat, especially in our current age where we are surrounded by all kinds of processed foods, where this knowledge helps you in differentiating between good foods and bad foods. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. In this channel, we are going to discuss about all the information on health and fitness from the basic level to the advanced concepts. So subscribe to the channel and stay tuned to get all the information that would be beneficial for your health. So today's video is about the knowledge on nutrition labels, how to identify them, how to interpret them, and how to understand them. Ask yourself this question: do you truly know how to read the nutrition labels, or did someone ever teach you on how to read the nutrition labels and why reading them and understanding them is so important during the current age? All the packed foods, drinks, and the types of foods that comes in cans, bottles, boxes, jars, and bags, so all these include the nutrition information most probably on back of their package or on the side, and this information is more crucial to determine if the food is going to be beneficial for you or not. So in my hand I have a simple granola box, and this is the front of the box where it shows all the branding and all some of the images. So on the back side of the box, so we have a further more information about all the ingredients they showcase here, but we don't have the nutrition label here. So for this box, the nutrition label, you can find it on the side. And today in this video, we're going to learn how to read this information that's present over here and how to determine that this following packed food is good for your health or not. So I have broken down on how to interpret or understand this information present here in 5 steps. And the best tip I have for you is to ignore all the information that's present on the front of any package. You just need to know what food item that is. In this case, it's granola, and just consider the nutrition label information present to determine or decide for yourself if this is healthy or not. Step number 1 is to know about the serving size present in the nutrition label and also number of servings that it has. Referring to this information is important because number of servings indicate how many servings are present in that particular packed food, and serving size indicates the weight or measure of each serving. To explain better, in the example image you can see that this packed food which we have taken has 4 servings in it, and each serving is gonna weigh about 227 grams. So 227 grams of that food accounts for a single serving, and the entire packed box is going to have 4 such servings. So if you consume one serving that is 227 grams or 1 cup, so you would be getting a particular amount of calories. So when you consume 2 servings or 2 cups, you would be getting twice the amount of calories and twice the amount of all the nutrients present. So this information is crucial in knowing about the quantity of the food that you are getting in that packed box. Step number 2 is to know about the calories. So the calories provide a measure of how much energy you are getting from a serving of that food. Let's understand better by taking this example. So in this image, it shows that one serving of this food, that is 227 grams or 1 cup, gives you 280 calories of energy. What if you ate the whole packet of food? To determine how many calories you are getting if you eat the whole package of food, As we discussed in step 1, this package consists of 4 servings, and in this section we got to know that each serving accounts for 280 calories. So when you eat the whole packed food, as it contains 4 total servings, when you multiply that 280 calories per each serving by total number of servings, that is 4, you get 1120 calories. That's the number of calories that you are getting when you consume all the foods that's present in the package. This is an important measure to consider while intaking food, to be aware of the calories you are consuming based on the servings, which has effects on your health and weight. Step number 3 is nutrients. This section shows all the key nutrients that you are getting from that packed food which you eat, which can have a positive impact on your health or a negative one. You can use this section to support your dietary needs or goals, and also for better health. In this section, there are nutrients that you should focus on getting less of, and there are nutrients which you should focus on getting more of. The nutrients on the label which you should focus on getting less of are saturated fats, sodium, and added sugars. These nutrients listed on the label may be associated with many health risks, but we tend to consume too much of them from junk food. For example, consuming too much of saturated fats has an increased risk of developing some of the health conditions like cardiovascular diseases and high blood pressure. Whereas consuming too much of added sugars can make it hard to meet the nutritional needs and also staying within the calorie limits. In this example, the total fat which you see is the fat you get from a single serving, which includes the saturated fat, unsaturated fat, and trans fats. So in the example, we see that total fat is of 9 grams, and among that 9 grams, 4.5 grams is the saturated fats and 0 grams are the trans fats. So to know the unsaturated fats present in that food, you just subtract the saturated fat amount from the total fat. So when you do that, you get the other 4.5 grams, which is the unsaturated fat present in the food, which can be the monounsaturated fats and the polyunsaturated fats. So as we discussed about fats in my previous videos, these unsaturated fats are good for you. Next we have sodium. So this nutrient denotes how much of sodium is added into this particular food. So next we have total sugars. In the above example, we can see that the total sugars is of 15 grams, and it also mentions that it includes 7 grams of added sugars. So what this means here is, like, out of 15 grams of total sugars, 7 grams are the added sugars which are added during food processing, and the remaining sugars, which are the 8 grams, are the naturally occurring sugars in the food. And this 7 grams of added sugars are bad for you. And the other nutrients in this label which you should focus on getting more of are the protein, the dietary fiber, and we have carbs, and also the unsaturated fats which we have discussed, and also the other micronutrients which you can see below, which has all the vitamins and minerals. Step number 4 is to know the percentage daily value. The percentage daily value is also an important measure for each nutrient in the packed food. So these values are reference numbers expressed in grams with respect to the general nutritional calories that's mentioned on the footnote of the nutritional facts. So if you see over here, it mentions as the general nutritional calories of 2000 per day, and all the percentage daily value you see are in reference to that 2000 calories. The percentage daily value helps you in comparing that particular nutrient with the calorie mark to determine if the food is in high of that particular nutrient or low. Let's understand this better with an example. Let's consider sodium. So it shows here that a single serving is going to have 37% of daily value in sodium with respect to a 2000 calorie reference. So to put that in a perspective, when I am trying to gain weight, I would be considering around 3000 calories per day. So using that, A single serving of this food is going to give me 37% of sodium that I should be taking in a day. For example, if I eat this food and also my rest of the foods throughout the day contain sodium, it kind of increases my levels of sodium in my body. And if you consume 2 servings of this food, you would be getting around 74% of your daily sodium intake from this particular packed food, which is pretty bad. Like, we can cross our sodium limits easily when you consider intaking this food. This clearly shows that the food which we have used as an example is very high in sodium content. So the percentage daily value metric helps us in determining that for each nutrient. Let's consider saturated fat. So it mentions here that a single serving of this food is going to give us approximately 23% of daily value in saturated fat, and this is regarding a 2000 calorie reference. And I can say, like, this is a moderate level of saturated fats, but I would consider this as a bit high because we are focusing on consuming foods which are less in saturated fats. So when you consume 2 servings of this particular food, you would be getting 48% of daily value in saturated fats for the entire day. And if you are not restricting the consumption of saturated fats throughout the day, then there are chances that you would be over consuming the daily limit of your saturated fats. And this may not seem like a big deal for you because, okay, this is shown for a single day. And what happens if I just over consume it for a day? It's not going to impact you that much if you're conscious enough and restricting the saturated fats the next day or keeping them in control. But if you are consuming over amount of saturated fats or sodium in the long run without having the idea of consuming in excess, that can be a major health risk and lead to many cardiovascular and health diseases. In this example, even though the product looks good with the protein you are getting and also the carbohydrates and the fiber and the micronutrient content it provides, but due to the high amounts of sodium and saturated fats present, this does not make as an ideal food which you should be consuming regularly or every day, as it can make you easily cross your daily intake of saturated fats and sodium. So the percentage daily value metric kind of helps you in making these decisions by comparing with a calorie reference mark and helps you stay away from such foods for a better health. And step number 5, the last step, is to read the ingredients list. This is also an important metric to determine if the food is less processed or not. If you already know how to read the nutrition labels, few of us still miss out on reading or taking into consideration the ingredients list. So this list actually helps you to understand what the manufacturer has used to make this product. You see bunch of items listed in this section, and mostly they are ordered by quantity. This means the first ingredient which you see is what the manufacturer used the most of. So if the first 3 ingredients consists of refined grains or some type of added sugars or hydrogenated oils, you can just ignore the food and you can just confirm that it's bad for you and it's not healthy. Instead, try choosing items that have whole foods as their first 3 main ingredients. Also, like a general rule of thumb, if the ingredients list is longer than 2 to 3 lines, it kind of denotes like it's highly processed one. This is an important metric to consider because in few cases, when all the nutrients present above looks good with low saturated fat and low in sodium and considerable amounts of protein and other bunch of vitamins and minerals, but that can be achieved by highly processing the food through adding bunch of chemicals. And the only way to know or identify such type of items or foods is by knowing how to read the ingredient list. There are few variations in these labels which you may encounter, and the first one is the double column labels, where you see 2 columns of the metrics present, and if you look at the top, that may indicate the first column is per serving and the second column is per container, so which is a pretty good layout of information that makes you do all the calculations in your mind. to know the amount of calories or nutrients you would be getting if you consume that whole container of food. And the second one is the single ingredient sugar labels. And these labels can be primarily found on foods like honey, maple syrup, and pure sugar. So with these labels, manufacturers are encouraged but not required to declare the added sugars among these. Check for the plus symbol that's present following the metric of percentage daily value of sugars, and check the footnotes after to explore how much added sugars are present in that serving. So sometimes manufacturers use this as a cover up to hide the amount of added sugars that's present in the food. I hope this information has been helpful to you, and do you feel the same like I do, that this information is more critical nowadays as we are surrounded by all kinds of processed foods? This should be taught from childhood and let the kids learn how to determine if that is a good food for them or not. In the next video, I'm going to explain more on this by taking few examples to show you if that's a good food for you or not, and also showing few examples for you on how manufacturers kind of display it as a good food and a healthier food for you, but when you read the nutrition label on the back, you would find the actual truth about the product. So keep all the steps that we have discussed today in your mind and consider the nutrition facts and also the ingredients present on every packed food as the sole source of truth. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel to stay tuned on more videos about health and fitness that's going to be beneficial for your health. If you are looking for information on workouts that you can do at the gym or at home, check out my Instagram profile where I have posted bunch of content already on workouts which you can do at the gym or at home. So have a look at it and try and learn those workouts for you to do. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.